Gentleman yields back.
I do.
Thank you. It is now my turn, and as I indicated at the beginning of this to a couple of our witnesses, there's so much that we need to get out and so little time. Mr. Runcie, I just want to be clear on something that has been said and alluded to. Ms. Tai indicated that one of the things that can be done is that we not allow students to borrow more money than they actually need for their college. However, it's my understanding that institutions aren't allowed to stop students from borrowing money they don't need, and if they try to stop them or take too much time trying to counsel them, the school hears about it from you and tells them to stop doing that. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, there are statutory limits, and what the student is eligible for. You know, there is an eligibility amount that they receive, and if they want to, my understanding is if they want to use that full amount, you know, in most cases, they will have access to it. There is this concept of professional judgment, but that's very specific, and it doesn't address the issue that the institutions face. But we're constrained within our regulatory framework.
Well, I've heard this from financial aid folks myself, that they feel very constrained to be able to give that advice to students. Mr. Drager, in your testimony, you discussed the troubling rollout of gainful employment reporting requirements and how schools did not have the necessary guidance in order to properly report their data. Even though FSA acknowledged they didn't deliver guidance in an appropriate time frame, they did not provide any deadline extensions to schools trying to catch up. You said schools are now starting to get responses, but do you have any explanation for why they haven't until now? Have they all heard back and been removed from a limbo not of their own making?
It's after letters have gone out to these schools accusing them of noncompliance, even though it looked to be just data conflicts. It's not clear to us that any widespread communication has gone back from FSA to schools letting them know that everything is in the clear. I understand that as of last night, some communications were going back out to these schools saying that they had satisfied the data conflict requirements.
You think the fact that we were having this hearing today might have had anything to do with the fact that they got an answer last night at 7 p.m.?
I think it makes a strong case that accountability is needed outside of FSA's own self-assessments.
Well, I would tend to agree with you. Mr. Runcie, the FSA is charged with enforcing reporting requirements and timely monitoring of institutions. You say that you have facts, and we're just looking at isolated incidents. But there's one case where you took 7 years to complete a program review for which no fines were imposed for an additional 2 years. Then you imposed a fine of $10,000 for a mistake by a school in categorizing a burglary as a larceny. Based on these examples alone, it's clear to me that it's unacceptable for an organization that has such vast responsibility to make such arbitrary decisions. I have some questions I'm going to submit to you because we have so little time today, and I will be expecting a very prompt response from you. But I think that based on the 35 outstanding recommendations from the IG, multiple findings of deficiencies by GAO, combined with the egregious insufficiencies we've heard today, I'm extremely concerned about FSA's ability to serve students, borrowers, and taxpayers well. And you have been given the high honor, in my opinion, of being a performance-based organization, and you have not lived up to that right that has been given to you. And I would suggest to you that if you come to us and say you need more money to grow your infrastructure, that before you ask for more money, you'd better show this Congress that you have made some progress in straightening out your operation. Because we expect students, you also said there have been no negative impact to students and families, and comment after comment after comment in this room and in reports have shown negative impact. You get my ire up and the ire of a lot of members when you start messing with our constituents. Thank you. I yield. Mr. Jeffries, you're recognized.